Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with laughs, gags, and gossip. Now let's get into the mess. Hey family, welcome back to the channel, and please do me a favor. Can somebody let me know if you can hear me? I just need to have somebody to let me know whether or not you can hear me before I get started, because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste mine. Hey Tanja, Jay, welcome. So I'm not going to be long, but I want to be as exact and to the point because this California time is 8:52 and it's past my bedtime, okay? Hey, Tammy Lynn. Hey, girl. So I know there's been a lot of information floating around about this Daejhanae Jackson being arrested or not arrested, to be or not to be, and all that drama, right? Everybody wants to know, has she been arrested? Number one, I did a story yesterday in my eagerness, I'll be honest, to get the story out there because initially I, like a lot of other bloggers, thought, oh, wow, this is great news. I saw it on a bigger channel, and then I saw the media outlet that the MetropoliMX had reported it. It looked like an actual article. So I too, posted that story that there was an arrest made. However, I am a thinking woman, and I do use logic and common sense. After I kind of thought about it a little bit, I looked around. I didn't see any of the major outlets picking it up. I said, I don't know about this. Kind of scratching my head, ponder, because I removed it. So if you guys look at my channel, it's been gone since this morning because I just didn't feel right about it because I kept looking and searching. I went on the Interpol website. Of course, I listened to other bloggers. Those are resources. Those are my peers. And it just wasn't adding up. And for me, I call myself a fact finder. And if I can't find if I do my deductive reasoning and I can't find something that makes sense, then I got to back up off of it. I couldn't substantiate what we have been hearing. So I took it down. So again, everybody was going back and forth about what's an arrest. So if you are a purist and you're very technical, Interpol cannot make arrests. So I don't even need to go into all of that because I think a lot of other bloggers talked about it. So if you're being a purist and you're being very technical and you're looking at legalese and all those things, and I wasn't legal secretary, you can't say somebody was arrested when that particular agency doesn't have the ability to do it. So that in and of itself is a discrepancy. And if you're looking at law or looking at it, if you want to be official, one discrepancy can invalidate all the data. That's just how it works. So we have that issue. And then we just cannot find a reputable U.S. source claiming that this person was arrested. We were getting our information from a reporter in Mexico, not to diminish him because he has given us some information that has turned out to be valid. But when you're dealing with something as critical as an arrest in a homicide, and which Mexico classifies as a femicide, I think you want to be a little bit more exact and you want to make sure you have the facts because there's a grieving family. And I'm going to say this is not about me, but I have had 2 murders in my family, okay? So I understand the pain that this family is going through. 1 murder in my family was never resolved, okay? So I understand how important it is for families to get some resolution, to get facts, and how, at the time when it happened to us, we didn't have all these media resources. So anyway, just thinking about how I would feel and, all of the information floating around, you want to give accurate information. Is it possible Daejhanae Jackson could have been detained? Yes. Like, we really don't know. The FBI has they have levels of classification: classified, confidential, need to know. Half of the stuff we don't need to know as the public. We want to know, but it might jeopardize their case. So I don't even have a problem with the fact that we don't know everything that they're doing. Let's rest in the fact that they're doing their job. That's what we should be hoping, right? That they are doing what they need to be doing. So I don't have an issue with not knowing, every little detail of what's going on, because again, too much information in the public, as we can see, just creates misinformation and confusion and chaos. So I talked about the sensitive nature, and the fact that we're getting information from an investigative reporter that may not have been properly vetted. Now, let me say this. If this young lady had been detained and it's under the auspices of the FBI and Interpol and all this, and they're not putting it on their website, because if you go there, if you search, it will say wanted, and you can search for people. If for some reason this information they don't deem that we need to know, it's kind of, it's peculiar that an investigative reporter would jeopardize a case like this and be divulging possibly sensitive information. I'm not going to say classified, because I don't know all the classification levels of police enforcement and all that, but divulging sensitive information. The person being arrested or detained at this point, if it's not official, it's hearsay. When you go to court, go look up hearsay. I'm not going to go through all the, websites to define what this means. Hearsay is not fact-based. It's hearsay. Could it be true and factual? It could be, but it has not been proven to be, and there is nothing to substantiate it. Are there sources? Yes, newspapers, newsrooms, they use sources all the time, but typically a source is private and they don't want to be disclosed. They want to keep their anonymity. The fact that this particular reporter was so public and getting cash apps kind of gave me reason to scratch my head like, that might be a conflict of interest, because if you're kind of a staunch journalist, you're going to question somebody giving information and getting paid for it. Because let me tell you what, like, if I were given information on a case and I knew people were going to give me possibly thousands of dollars, I might say a whole lot of stuff that I might have heard something, but if I can't verify it or confirm it or really give you my resource, like where a source of where I got the information, I don't know. That kind of falls flat for me. So we got to move away from that. So again, I posted the story yesterday, but upon further thoughts, I said, nah, T, it's just not enough official sources here in the U.S. reporting this. Now, let's fast forward to tonight. So shout out to Sean Davy Way and Gigi, because I watched both of them, and it was actually on Gigi's site, Gigi Gossip Girl XOXO, where somebody in the chat said, hey, they just, because I've been going to the site, seeing, because the MetropoliMX said that they were going to update the report yesterday about Daejhanae's alleged arrest. However, nothing ever happened. So today I've been trying to see it. The people have been reporting that the site was up and down, and I've been checking, and somebody said, hey, go check it out. It looks like they changed the story. So that's what we're going to look at right now. All this information that has been floating out there, people have been vouching for Gerardo Zuniga. And understand, I don't know if he's telling the truth. I have no idea. But what we do know is that it hasn't been officially announced. So for us to say, like, this is legitimate and make it fact-based, I don't think we can do that. Can we say it's been reported? That's totally different than saying she has been. That's a factual statement, affirmative. We can't say that because, well, you could say it, but you don't know it to be a fact. So anyway, okay, you guys are seeing, you can hear me, and I'm talking loud because sometimes on my laptop, the sound is not good. So anyway, let's just go to the site, and we're just gonna look at this real quick, and then you draw your own conclusions. Let's see, and you guys, please let me know if you can see it. Okay, so this is the MetropoliMX site, and this is where one of the references that Gerardo Zuniga, the investigative reporter that has been breaking some of this, and I do believe that some of his references previously have been credible because they've panned out to be true. But again, with an arrest, when you're stating that an arrest has been made, he may have some sources, but I just don't think we're able to confirm it at this point. But anyway, so this is what was reported yesterday. Well, okay, so I click on it. Let's see. I'm trying to get to what, okay, let's see. And the site is a little clunky right now. It looks like they've been updating these stories. So it says breaking news. This was yesterday, November 29th. Daejhanae Jackson arrested in the United States. This article came out. Gerardo Zuniga, he was on multiple platforms saying, affirming that she had been arrested per his sources. He never said detained. He never said in custody. I think everybody was assuming that she was arrested. We didn't see anything on Interpol. We didn't see any official U.S. information. We didn't see the North Carolina FBI location state anything. We saw nothing. We heard one person telling us what had happened, which is not necessarily good. Because if you think about it, a lot of the bigger news outlets, they have a lot of resources. They have in their newsrooms, they have multiple people who have connects. They can call places. They work around the clock. A newsroom is typically open 24/7. So I would think that at least one U.S., if somebody leaked it to him, I would just think that, and if it happened in the U.S. here where we are, somebody would have leaked it to one of our stations here. That was just me thinking. But anyway, so he says breaking news. This is article breaking news. Daejhanae Jackson arrested in the United States. They said during the night of the 28th, she was arrested by Interpol agents. Well, we later, find out that they really don't have the ability to arrest. So that's the first problem. But now let's fast forward. Let me go back to what is on the site today. That was November 29th, yesterday, when it created all the stir for us. The latest news from Daejhanae Jackson. Oh, now it's saying there's an error establishing the database. It might be crashing because so many people were trying to pull this up right now. But, okay, let's see. So this is as of today. The latest news from Daejhanae Jackson. The last physical location of the material author of Shanquella Robinson's crime was in Connecticut, in the northwest of the U.S. So that's kind of ambiguous. The last physical location of the material author of Shanquella Robinson's crime was in Connecticut. So they're saying that's the last location they knew her to be. That's not saying she was arrested. So let's get into this. San Jose del Cabo, Baja California, sir. The Attorney General's Office of the State of Baja California, sir, presented on November 21st the request for the arrest warrant of Daejhanae Jackson. And I'm kind of speed reading through this. For extradition purposes, in order to be tried for the crime of femicide of the young Shanquella Robinson, which occurred on October 29th in a condominium in Cabo Villas. The arrest warrant, according to data collected by MetropoliMX, was presented to the Attorney General's Office, FGR, and who in turn handed over the request to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, blah, blah. Okay. Since last November 21st, Daejhanae Jackson has been considered a fugitive. In the U.S., I never saw her listed as a fugitive, but okay. Considered a fugitive from Mexican justice after a control judge issued an arrest warrant against her in this municipal capital of Los Cabos. Okay, so I guess they're saying in their country, she's considered a fugitive. The material author of the 25-year-old's crime, according to evidence and testimonies obtained by the public prosecutor's office agent, points to Daejhanae Jackson. That's another point. There have been back and forth about this second video. There is a second video. That second video allegedly is Winter or not Winter, I'm sorry, possibly Elise or one of the women confronting Daejhanae, asking her to stop or trying to intervene. The first video that we have been referencing as Winter grabbing Daejhanae by the neck and flinging her is actually, Winter is actually Daejhanae. I think they got it confused because and then you hear Shanquella's father say that that she was flung to the floor. Somebody grabbed her around the neck, flung her to the floor, and she never gets up. That's exactly what we see in that video. However, we have been hearing that it was Winter Donovan, that there was another video. So it's like we saw one video with Daejhanae, but we heard it was another person. No, it's one video, and it's the one in which we see Daejhanae grab Shanquella around the neck, fling her, throw her to the ground. She sits there, she bends her head. We never see her get up. So when they say she never gets up, that's what we see. And so that is what is in the video. Now, did she pass right then and there? Probably not. But did that cause her to sustain some injuries? It sounds like it. So anyway, I just want to clarify that. And it says unofficially, MetropoliMX was informed that Daejhanae Jackson would have been arrested on the night of the 28th when she was in a relative's home. See, now they're backtracking. That's recanting something. Yesterday, it was an affirmative arrest. Now, let's say this. Is it possible that something happened with Daejhanae? Possibly. But now they are telling us unofficially, MetropoliMX was informed. So we heard hearsay that Daejhanae could have been arrested on the night of November 28th when she was in a relative's home. So now this is not fact-based. Now we're kind of dancing around. Again, so you if we are to believe this source, they're telling us this is not an affirmative arrest here. It's unofficial hearsay, would have been arrested. Could have been, would have been. That's ambiguous to me. So the fugitive from Mexican justice would have traveled about 718 miles, traveling from Charlotte to Connecticut. It was right at that point where it was located for the first time. The article goes on to say, now this is interesting as well. Both the United States and Mexico governments are absolutely secrecy, they mean in secret, about the arrest of Daejhanae Jackson. So if the Mexican government or officials and the U.S. are in secrecy, why do we have a public person being so forthcoming and giving over information? Couldn't that jeopardize the case or something? I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know. But that would seem strange to me. People do leak information all the time. But do they do it so publicly? And then when you start talking about cash apps, then that's a whole nother ball of wax. Because now we just doing, hey, you guys draw your own conclusions. No government has denied or confirmed the arrest. There you go. So neither government has denied or confirmed the arrest to avoid violating the due process of extradition from the United States to Mexico. So even this little statement right here, I have a problem with it, because you're saying that the government has not denied or confirmed the arrest to avoid violating due process. So when somebody comes forward and gives information that they shouldn't be giving publicly, are you violating due process? Are you interfering with due process? Possibly. So this is crazy. So again, no government has denied or confirmed the arrest to avoid violating the due process of extradition from the United States to Mexico. On this day, MetropoliMX was informed that Daejhanae was admitted to a service center in the United States without obtaining further details of the location. They're saying admitted, so the verbiage is changing now. Excuse me. So now we don't necessarily have an arrest. We maybe have the person was detained. I mean, the young woman would have been under protection waiting to be extradited to Mexico in 2 or 3 weeks. MetropoliMX prepares a special report in which it will reveal in detail, step by step, how the crime of... Okay, so again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time regurgitating stuff, because people will believe what they want to believe. The information, you can go look at the report that they presented yesterday, and you can look at what's presented today, which is what most of us based our information on, and decide for yourself. Has Daejhanae Jackson been arrested? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's an arrest, or it's not official at the least. And if it's not official, should we be stating it as though it were? I'm gonna look in the comments and see what people are saying. I'm just kind of going to jump in the middle because I know I read a lot. You were not alone. We are all anxiously waiting for these evildoers. We are waiting. And you know what? And I'm excited, and I do want them to get caught. But again, I think spreading misinformation, we have to be careful. I mean, words matter. Words mean something, right? And if you report, this is what is being reported, that's different than saying, factually. And because some people were very emphatic, like, oh, yes, this is based on this article. And I'm going to share something with you guys. I've had my channel for a few years now, and, I do have a regular job. So, and when I first started, I reported on some deaths, right? Based on an article. And what I found, I had to learn the hard way. People can make up articles. I could make up a little, I don't know what they call it, flyer, and make it look like a little magazine or whatever. And they say a lot of stuff that's misleading. I don't know why people do what they do. I don't know, but I reported on something, myself and a lot of other YouTubers, and it was wrong. It was inaccurate. And that happens. We do it frequently because we'll look at something and it'll look like an official news report. And then, then once a couple people start saying it, sometimes we get a little sloppy and be like, oh, well, so-and-so said it and I saw this article. Yeah, but we do have, sources that we kind of rely on, not because we think that they are bigger, but they have more resources than us. Like, again, newsrooms and stuff. And some of the bigger news outlets, they make mistakes too. They have to recant stories all the time. That's not unusual. But when you're talking about a story this big that has been on CNN, Fox, all over, and not one outlet or anybody and I even reached out to, a reporter that was one of the first to report it and had been doing on the ground, walking, trying to find people. He says, I can't confirm it. So when I start seeing people that I kind of get my information from and rely on to be factual, and they couldn't confirm it, then I knew I had to kind of step back and say, well, I don't know, So I'm stating, and so my stance is, I don't think she's arrested. Have they located her? Possibly. Is she detained? Possibly. But I don't think there's an official arrest. That's where I'm going to stand on this. So Tammy is saying exactly. Nitra saying exactly. He's Queen is saying it's very questionable. Yeah, the problem is that, as a journalist, I don't know the principles, like the journalism 101 or how they have the code of ethics. I got to look that up. I didn't even look it up today, but there are ethical standards. And when you're talking about, YouTube is kind of a different beast where, reporters will come on and give information, but in the vein that he's delivering it, and with one of the YouTubers giving him cash apps, that to me is a conflict of interest. It really is. It's like, with this particular case, you need to be doing it for the sake of your journalistic responsibility, trying to uncover, trying to get justice, versus getting paid. I get it. I'm not getting paid for these videos, y'all. Just so you know, none of my videos have been monetized lately. Okay. I got a little hiccup with YouTube. So, and I'm fine with that because I got a job. Okay. I have a job. But when you're reporting stuff like this and you're getting a little cash kickback, that gets to be sketchy. I would venture to say that, like true journalists, I would like to know what, people who are part of the journalistic society or whatever, what they would think about this. Because that's kind of weird. Now, in Mexico, they say it's a lot of corruption. Maybe that's what they do. But here, I think that's frowned upon. Someone needs to contact, I'm not going to say the person's name. He stated that D. Jackson was arrested and is in jail here in the U.S. Yeah, maybe he knows something, but again, I think people have to be careful and you can't be reckless. And just let me say something, and this is not an attack against that person, but I was a litigation secretary for 8 years, and I worked with attorneys, and part of their job, I'm not going to say is to lie, but their job is to sometimes skew the facts so that they can win. Attorneys are used to winning, and even if they know they could be wrong, because they will defend a Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer had an attorney too, right? They're not necessarily they don't lose, that their job is not to lose or to look bad. So if you're telling me that an attorney said something, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, honestly, let me be clear. When I saw the article, heard other YouTubers saying it, people that I thought were credible, I ran with the story as well. But again, as I stepped back and started looking at all the facts and the pieces, I couldn't stand on it. I just couldn't. And then thinking about people saying, well, the attorney said it. So people are thinking because a person is an attorney, they have some kind of a legal standing or integrity that or intelligence that we don't have. And that's just not true. What attorneys do, and most of you know, they're there to argue and to win a case, even if the person is guilty, even if they have to lie for their client. So when people say that if an attorney said it, it must be true, and they stated it as if they have information that they have some information available to them that we don't have, I don't buy it. And the lead attorney, I don't even know if he's a practicing attorney any longer. It doesn't matter. But attorneys are not necessarily privy to that kind of high level information unless they're working on the case. So we can just scoot that one on out the way. No attorney, unless they are part of the case, has any more information than probably us, so whatever about him. My thumbs up for this. Oh, thank you. Yes, you guys, can you please thumbs up? Because I'm not getting as many clicks on this video because it's not popular. Everybody wants that arrest to be, real, and I do too. But we also want to make sure that we give valid and good information, especially, thinking about the family. Where is the proof she's been? Yeah, all high profile apprehensions has made TV coverage. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's one of the things when the FBI and they score something like that, that's great news. That's a boon for them. That's great for them. And in terms of, it's not found anywhere. And again, if it's not publicly available, then for whatever reasons, they don't want us to know. It's a need to know basis, and we don't need to know yet. As much as we're emotionally invested in this and we want this case to move forward, we also don't want to do things that can hinder the case. We don't want, like the article said, to not impede due process, or I'm probably not repeating it correctly. We don't want to do anything to jeopardize the case either. We already see how Mexico mishandled the case, probably didn't gather the evidence the way that they should have in the beginning. So there are already issues with this case, right? So, if we're not supposed to know at this point, I'm going to have to trust that and pray that, justice will prevail. But to go forward and give information that maybe you shouldn't, which is why they're recanting this, because that was if any of this is true anyway, somebody screwed up. You said too much. Sometimes people put their foot in the mouth just for clout. That's all I say. Do it all for clout. Yeah, this might be one of those instances. People always say, oh, you're doing it for clout. This might be one of those times. Okay. Um at Black Diamond lead is always questionable in my opinion. Roland Martin interview. Yeah, I saw that. So the thing about it was I saw it aired this morning. Wait. Okay, I saw it air this morning, but I wasn't sure if it was an interview they did this morning or if it was pre-recorded. I wasn't sure if it was live. But based on the two videos that I saw today, interviews of her dad and her mom, they have not been notified of any arrest. And that again, usually, I'm going to say usually because this case is a little bit different. The family is the first notified, typically. I mean, the family would be the first, I would think. Even if it's sensitive and they ask them not to repeat it, I would think the family would be notified before the public. Thank you for updating us. I reached this and was like, this is not adding up. Exactly. And the reporting is still doing what? That don't add up. The US is not like Mexico. Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, it's kind of turning into a spectacle. I won't believe an arrest. Again, we don't, maybe she is detained, maybe they know where she is, maybe they're doing processing paperwork, but in terms of the official arrest and all of those things, I don't think we can say that yet. And I don't want it to be a spectacle. Like, hopefully none of you have ever been through this and lost a loved one, but this stuff is really emotional for the family. For her mom to think that they're getting justice and that somebody's been apprehended and there's no verification from the officials, like just not put that kind of information out there. Just have some sensitivity. And I did it too, based on the fact that I took visibly without doing my due diligence and reported what I initially saw. And my bad. I stand corrected on that, and I've done it before. So I'm not. I was like, girl. That's why I don't need the like or the click. I'm gonna take it down because that's what I'm not going to promote something that I can't totally stand behind. No. Now, to be honest, if it's some little run of the mill, some little thug did some ish, and we get it wrong, I don't give whatever. This case right here is too critical, too sensitive, and it's national. What happened to this young lady and what her family is going through? We can't get this stuff wrong. We want justice, but we also want to be right, So Black Diamond says, at Tanja J, I understand you. I received a call this morning and was told to turn to his show. I don't watch him because, in my opinion, he's just a little too arrogant for me and him constantly bragging. Now, again, like you guys, I said, I used to work for attorneys. That's why I had to get out of it. They are very arrogant, but I believe they're trained to be. That's part of, well, let me say if they're litigation attorneys, because, just depends on the kind of law they do. Because you have, the transactional, the real estate attorneys, those kind who do, contracts and stuff, a little different. But anybody that has to stand up in front of an audience and a jury and a judge and convince them, they got to have some kahungas, right? And they have to be able to take information and command an audience and make you believe the facts, even if they aren't, right? That's what they do. And, I have worked with some attorneys before, and they can be some a-holes. Very demanding. I didn't like it. Not at all. About his 20 years as an attorney. Actually, I was on his show one time because we were talking about custody, and I was telling him my situation because he tends to go against women and all that stuff, whatever. But I held my own. I mean, I held my own. And he's an attorney, so he does this all the time. But I was able to throw out my facts too. And you don't know California law, and I'm going to tell you, oh well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you don't, because you practice where there. You don't practice here. I went through this. I used to work under the California state law. So yes, sir, you can't pull my coattail on that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say I can match wits with him because that's not my area. but you're not gonna shut me down like that. Anyway, so it said that when I checked a few minutes ago. Wait, Nitra, what did it say? Until TMZ say something, I don't believe nothing. People will do anything for likes and clicks. Exactly. I think honestly, yesterday when I reported it, I wasn't doing it for a like or a click. I was excited. It was like, yes, they caught her. But then it's like, okay, so now that I got this out there and I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for, the Associated Press or somebody to release something, some of the bigger outlets, because they got all, they got staff of people researching and contacts, and they got people, those TMZs and all those newsrooms across the US, they all have sources and contacts at all these places throughout the US. And people be sneaking in information that they shouldn't. Hell, they be going into violating people's HIPAA laws, getting information out, and people knowing that they're going to get caught. We already know this, right? So you mean to tell me nobody in the US got nothing? Which is good, because we probably shouldn't have the information anyway. At Black Diamond, I agree with him speaking to the guy in Spanish. I do not put him up to telling the guy he'll get him funds for appearing. Yeah, that's not cool. Dude does not have my subscription. He is beyond arrogant. Okay, now I saw Gerardo and I saw the Spanish and the negro and I don't speak Spanish. I could probably read a little bit, poquito, then I could speak it, right? Now, what irritated me, I'm black, okay, y'all. Y'all know I'm black, and I wear my braids, my weaves, okay? And when he said black women in the bonnets, okay, I'm cool with that. Like, when the guy was talking about see, that's the problem to me, too. You don't understand our culture. You're investigating, or you're not him per se, but if the people in Mexico assume that was intimate lingerie on her head, that's already a problem. That means you're already off base. Because he said something like it was a joke gone bad. She put the panties on her. Like, that is because this is a real situation, and you guys are already going down the wrong road. But anyway, let me get back to my point. Him stating that black women, you guys don't know it. White people don't know about bonnets. The hell, they didn't create bonnets for us. I think bonnet is a French term. Somebody let me know. I don't know if it's a French. I'm assuming bonnet is a French term, and it's not an African term. We do wear bonnets, but don't act like these folks don't know what they are, because they do. Kind of irritated me, but let me say this. Yeah, black women wear bonnets, but y'all wear do-rags. So don't even act like, oh, you guys would know about that. You guys don't wear them. Black women wear bonnets and brothers wear do-rags, okay? So that irritated me. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but yeah, I was like, what? At Black Diamond, I would be surprised if he thinks his are golden. Okay, TMZ said that. Let's see. Black Diamond says, I concur. At Sergeant, yes, he is not good enough to be what he can be on YouTube, in my opinion. Serial killers made the news, right? Wasn't here from exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is a huge case. And until we see her paraded with some orange in a sequins orange jumpsuit with some Chanel bracelets on, okay? I don't know. A lot of people think his word is Bible. Yeah, I'm not here to bash him, because he is out for clicks and views. Okay. I was just a little annoyed with a couple things that happened. 95 in the chat. Let's support this live. Thank you again, Tanja J. And I'm a copy. You know how they say we be biting off of each other. What they say, the paperwork say my likes should match my views. Hey, my likes should match my views, or my likes should match my views. Hey, right? So if it's 96, I should have 96 likes. I hope. Okay. Yeah, I'll be losing my voice too. Okay. MetropoliMX has recanted its story, claiming Daejhanae Jackson. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, y'all. I got my glasses on. So yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, they have recanted the story, saying she has been arrested. It's kind of like we kind of sort of think that, and we know her location, and yeah, but let me, oh, well, you should be able to see the story right there. Let me pull it up for you again. So if you want to go find it, it's on their site, and it was published today. And it says the latest news from Daejhanae Jackson. So you can go read it again. And essentially, they're just kind of like, backtracking, saying we were told this, but they don't confirm that there's an official arrest. So, yeah, interesting, right? Mm-hmm. So all the people that were like, oh, yes, he's telling us the truth. Again, maybe he knows something. But now they're kind of backtracking. And maybe somebody said you weren't supposed to say nothing. Maybe if he did know something, he wasn't supposed to talk about it. Hey, Tammy, thank you. Hit the like button. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. You all have sweet sleep. My eyes are tired. Okay, Black Diamond, go to bed. My eyes are tired too, girl. Love and blessings to you all. Namaste, namaste to you too. And I just wanted to get on here and say that it looks like there has been no arrest. I mean, yeah, I'm going to just say it doesn't look like there's been an arrest because they're not standing by what they said yesterday, okay? So until we see something a little more substantial, I'm just going to say maybe they know where Daejhanae is. That's what I'm going to say. The Cabo Six are close-knit, devious bunch. They have added to the confusion of the media. Yeah, it's just, this is like a nightmare. Just the, and also if you guys, there was a rumor that, so people were saying that Winter was on FaceTime when Daejhanae was attacking Shanquella. But if you go to my Twitter, I posted a video and I slowed it down, and you can see that actually she's filming. So that's important, because I read somewhere that in Mexico, if you do if there's some kind of digital and audio recording of a crime, you can be implemented or something as well. Implicated, sorry, my bad. Part of the crime as well, because it's like you're facilitating it. So I don't think she was on FaceTime. I believe she was recording it. So if you look at that video, what you will see is that I slowed it down real slow, so you can see that the bodies and the movement is actually the same on her phone. And what happens is at one point, Shanquella and Daejhanae's bodies morph into one, and with the white of the bed behind them, it appears to be a person that's on the phone, but it's not. It's the fight, because she's moving the angles, and just because we're seeing it from a distance, and it gets distorted. So go check that out on my Twitter. I think it's Laugh Gags and Gossip. Go look at that video and you'll see. And also, I think there was a question as to whether or not Alice was at that party that they had the night before, and I slowed down that audio, and I might upload that as well. But you can hear, I don't know if it's Khalil or Malik. Well, Nazir said he wasn't there, so I'm going to assume it's one of the guys. And the person says, at least grab one or get one or something. So her name is called. So that, using deductive reasoning, would make me think that she may have been in that room or somewhere in close proximity. So, good night, Black Diamond. Yes, lovely. Good night. That's crazy. Had a putting out full force of information. That's this crazy. What they gave, not Ada doing it sad. Girl, look, child. Okay. My bad. I'm not reading it right. I know I'm not. I'm probably getting sleepy too. Wait till we see exactly. Wait till we see a mugshot. Case been riddled by lies on social media. Yeah, and I'm gonna say, I'll take accountability and say, because I am I like to read a lot. And when the Kanika Jenkins case was out, I spent hours. I would be at work on YouTube, like watching different videos. So for me, I just really get into cases like this, especially, it's like this, like what happened, why. I'm always asking the why, who did what. So I think oftentimes we are just trying to bring you information the way we see it and give our commentary. But again, we need to be more responsible and vet information and resources before we just run so quickly. I mean, of course, everybody wants to scoop the story. That goes without saying. But sometimes you have to step back. It's not, again, my video was up. People are getting thousands and thousands of clicks and views saying that she was arrested. I was getting traction on that video, but I removed it because in my heart, it's like, I don't know. Because my title was like, Daejhanae arrested based on the information that I had. And I read the article, and I said it's being reported, but still my captions and everything alluded to the fact that she was arrested. So I didn't want to spread misinformation or continue to do so. For me, that's just me. When the feds arrest you, no one knows. Interesting. I mean, yeah, I haven't had anybody in my family, at least that I know of, be arrested by the feds. So I don't know. But I do know that, but see, here's the problem. You said when the feds arrest you, the article that they posted yesterday said Interpol arrested, and Interpol is not the feds, right? So that's a discrepancy, and a discrepancy invalidates information. Real journalists don't go by hearsay. Sick'em dogs, you're absolutely right. Most of the information we're getting on YouTube is hearsay, though. We're getting second party information. But I agree with you. Hearsay does not hold up in court. It's hearsay. It's not fact based. And I don't even know if it can be used as evidence. I believe they say that's hearsay. They toss it out. So I agree with you. They are known to be the biggest. That's their job, girl. You know that's their job. You guys, I'm coughing. I don't want to cough in your ear. That's their job. Professional liars, of course. Now, riddle me this. What possible defense could an attorney give a Jeffrey Dahmer? What would the defense be? Oh, we shouldn't kill him. I mean, I don't know. I didn't follow the case, but what are you defending? I mean, but everybody, whatever you do in the U.S. anyway, you are entitled to an attorney, a right to defend yourself. And oftentimes they know that you did it. You can tell your attorney that you did something, and it's attorney-client privilege. I don't remember how far it can go. Like if you admit that you murked somebody, if they would be required to tell. I didn't practice criminal. I didn't support criminal law, so I don't know. But attorney-client privilege. So they know you did some bad stuff and still try to get you out. You said Sick and Dog dropped the link. You know what? I'm not going to drop the link because I'm about to jump off. But hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. In any other time, I would drop the link. I'm just tired. I just happened to see this. I was getting ready for bed because I got to be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and it's already 9:39. I'm sorry, Toya. The feds arrested my brother and we knew. Okay, so now you got two different. So one person says when the feds arrest you, you won't know. So maybe are you saying just the family will know? Because the last two interviews I saw this morning with Shanquella's parents, they said they weren't informed of any arrests that had been made. So again, that was even enough for me to say, girl, take that ish down. I had already taken it down though. Shay, hey girl. Hey LGG mods. Chat's first time here. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Sikkim says not true. There are families who has lost loved ones, due to murder. News coverage is automatically implicated. Wait, I don't know what you're saying. I would say news coverage is so if you're talking about I think this case they're saying it's different because it's international, and due to the particulars, because the crime wasn't committed here. So technically, the warrant was issued by Mexico. So I don't know what you're saying, but I think I kind of understand. But news coverage is, I think anytime a crime is committed, it is public knowledge, I believe, or public record, or they can report it. But in terms of arresting and all of that information, if they're processing, I don't know that it would be public until it's an official arrest, you know, because there's legal stuff that has to be done, paperwork and everything. So, I mean, I don't know what you're saying, but okay. Yes, it's like it's an emotional roller coaster. Just up, hey, Jenny Pooh. Oh, girl, yes, I have to find, let me see. I want to go, let me see. I don't want to make sure. Let me see. I wanted to go and see if I could find your I wanted to find I wanted to find the your post. You know what? I'll find it another time, girl, because I'll get on here and be confused and get all lost because I don't do lives that much. I'm already screwed up and off the site. Let me see. How do I get back here? Y'all, I done got, okay. So anyway, Jenny, I was trying to find your comments. So when I was doing the video about Daejhanae attacking Shanquella, and I was saying, nah, it's not Winter we're looking for. It's actually Daejhanae, right? And you were on somebody's page. I don't remember. And it may have even been on Facebook. I can't remember. And you stated the same thing I was thinking. And you said it so eloquently. And I copied it because I was going to put it in my video. But so that's funny. So when I saw you in the comments, I was like, I know her, you know, because I remembered your name and everything. So just something I thought it was kind of funny. When there is confusion, stand still. Absolutely. That's why I retracted. That's why I took my video down, because it's like I don't need that, you know, because for me, I just, for myself, if I can't fully get behind something, and I'm not gonna lie, I have reported stuff that has been wrong and I let it fly. I don't always retract stuff, but something of this magnitude, yeah, you know, yeah. If I say Nicki Minaj is going to be performing at the, I don't know, some gala, and she ain't going to be there, and I get the dates wrong, I'm probably not going to correct that. I'm going to let it fly. But this is different. No, this is different. And I'm not stating that it's a lie. I'm just stating that we can't confirm it and we can't validate it, so I can't report it. Who can prove there's an actual body, crime or murder? Is there a time stamp on that video? The math isn't mathing. Who can prove there's an okay, so the actual body, her father said that he saw her body. Her father paid money to have her body shipped. So if you're talking about is there a crime or a murder? Sounds like the autopsy is confirming that. Is there a body? It sounds like her parents, I would think her parents and her family would be pretty, I'm not even gonna say that, because yeah, just the listen, I've had people murdered in my family, so I'm not even gonna question that. I'm gonna just move past that question. I'm not even gonna deal with that. Instead of jumping on social media knowing you know nothing. Well, so sick'em dogs, some people jump on saying, why do y'all report stuff? Why do you read it? And I'm not saying this to you, but if you know that social media is speculation and conjecture, and you know that none of this is fact-based, because this isn't like a CNN or a place where we have a staff that, you know, that are getting all of the latest up-to-date information. We're doing this usually from our homes, getting resources online, going to websites. So people, it just blows me when people say, oh, it's not that. Well, why do you read it? You on YouTube. What the hell you expect? Like, I'm not saying that YouTubers and content creators shouldn't be factual or get information as right as possible. But when I see people coming on here talking about why you just stop talking about it, stop listening, stop watching. That's what you do. If it's something you don't like, don't do it. Because we gonna keep talking. And when people talk about, oh, social media, nothing you know, hell, if you know we don't know, why you here? That irritates me so much. If you don't like it, bye. And I'm not saying you, but that's like a mental illness. If something irritates you and you don't like it, why would you participate? I wouldn't even watch it. It's certain things I just don't, I'm not interested in. I don't believe in it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm gonna exit stage left. So that's my disclaimer. If you guys know social media gives misinformation and you have a big issue with that and you don't understand that even regular large media outlets make mistakes and recant stories, please don't go on social media. Do yourself a favor. Wait till it comes out on CNN or in your local newspaper or on Fox News, and that's what you should do. That's it. Hey girl, you'll be surprised how many people jump in my comments talking about, oh, why are you talking about this again? Why are you watching again? And then I even say, save yourself some time, save your fingers, save your little fingers, the exercise of typing a nasty comment, because I'm not interested and I'm gonna block you. They do it anyway. And it's like, first of all, see, here's the thing, it's counterproductive. You're telling me that this is a waste of time. However, you've watched the video, so I'm not getting paid for these videos, but I have in the past. So you watched it, so that's a click, which is a little bit of a coin, and then you comment. That's even more engagement. That helps fuel the algorithm. So, duh, if you really don't want us to prosper and you really don't like what we're doing, the best thing is to not engage, right? That's the best thing to do. That's the best thing to do. Excited instead of doing your own investigation. In this instance, I think a lot of people were very excited, and the investigation I did wasn't thorough, admittedly. And so I said, once I paused, I took my video down, right? So to your point, yeah, excited. Instead of doing, no, I did some investigation. The investigation was just invalid. So you're not going to get me on that one. And again, I took it down. There you go. So we can go round about this all night long. Hey VMC, how you doing? You got the Cookie Monster up there. I like that. That's cute. Jenny Fu says, I was excited too until I seen Gerardo's second interview and all them Yes, yeah. I mean, that's problematic. I mean, I think my first red flag was when I heard about I was watching his first interview, right? Where he was on the big platform. And he was talking and everything. I think they were translating. But then when he said Cash App, I'm like, what? No, that dilutes the story. Like that loses integrity and credibility, because now you're being paid for a story. Because remember, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, like the Inquirer or those Star magazines that were those periodicals that were in the store, that's one of the things that they were accused of, was paying people and bribing people to make up stories for payment, and people would. So that's why some of the more more strict journalists, like, that's why they say, I won't pay for a story, because they don't want you to benefit from, quote unquote, telling the truth or getting the story out there, because it convolutes things. If I'm being paid to say something, of course I'm gonna make it more salacious. Of course, you're paying me, darling. Of course, I'm a just. Ooh, my dog, y'all, that scared me. My daughter came through the door. I'm talking about all this murder stuff and scared the hell out of me. Winter cold in Mexico, I don't know. At Jenny Pooh Ditto, that is when I shut down listening. You said they do LOL. Okay, Precious, you probably are answering to something else. I don't know, but I'm LOLing with you, girl. I'm LOLing too. Exactly. He pissed me off with that bonnet comment. G Jackson made a comment calling what? G Jackson made a comment calling Black women bald-headed. What? You kidding me? Nitra, which video are you talking about? I mean, I can't, you can't tell me this man said that. Seriously? Why? Why? Like, what could they have been discussing to make him make a statement like that, especially when we're talking about a murder investigation? And I don't know. That's disgusting. It's sad. I'm waiting for her extradition to Mexico. I am too. I'm gonna be excited, but y'all, until I see a picture or get some real credible sources, I'm gonna be zip my lip, zip the lip. Mad Bitter Truth said this whole case is a hoax. Is broken down in geometria. All of them people are crisis actors. Okay, thank you. That's another thing, which is weird to me, is that I don't. How many of you, every time somebody dies or it's a murder, it's people always think it's a crisis act. Has anybody had any deaths in their family? I mean, I'm just, so when people die of natural causes, when people get killed, is this all geometry? Is this all conspiracy theories? Because that's so weird to me. I have actually had murders in my family. And so where were the crisis actors when we went to the funeral, when our family was breaking down, when we was looking at a body in a casket and trying to pay funeral expenses and buy clothes? Was what? Why do people always think it's a conspiracy? I'm confused on that. I do believe some things are, but some things happen. Life happens. People die every day. People are murdered every day. And you better pray to God that you are a few pews away, that you ain't sitting in that front pew and it's you watching it or experiencing it with somebody you love. People start having some compassion. Sheesh. Whew, that precious, he really does. Y'all, okay, I'm just gonna skip over that because I'm not interested in that. I had that question, but watch it again and did hear it on video this time. So yeah, yes, Jenny Pooh. Yep, at the end, right? He says, at least, I don't know if he says grab it or get it, because I saw some videos in which they were saying, oh, Elise wasn't there because, oh, you guys, okay, that's another thing. Well, I'm getting a little off topic now, but I was doing the timeline in my brain, right? I'm like, okay, some people were saying, why would she go on the vacation if her sister was murdered, right? Elise. And I was like, wait a minute, but her sister was murdered at 1 a.m. in the morning. That she could have already been on the plane, but it said 1 a.m. Friday morning. Remember, midnight would be 12 a.m. 1 a.m. would be that Friday morning. And they got to Cabo that afternoon or late evening, right? Friday. So she did go after that. And I'm not questioning why, because I was saying maybe she was distraught. Her friend said, girl, you already got your ticket. Come on. And so she went anyway. But yeah, that whole Elise thing, yeah, she was there that night, I believe, because he does call her name out over again. Why do I keep clicking on that? Let me click off of that because I'm not trying to hear that. Absolutely, at Tanya J. It depends if they let people know or not, if they need to question them or keep them safe or not to alert others to go on the run. There isn't any set rule for that. Okay, I agree with that. That could be true. Like I'm not gonna debate something that I don't factually know, because it's all logical. Maybe it's not a need to know. Maybe they want to keep the person safe. Maybe they don't want to give out information. And I said this before. When my cousin was murdered, the initial information we got from the detectives when they came, it was such a shock. She was young, allegedly maybe the guy that she was dating, never arrested. When our family first got the information, we were so we talked too much. We started calling, trying to do the investigations ourselves, calling people, trying to get where was she last, because you're grieving, right? And so you're trying to retrace their steps and figure out stuff that you will never know. So by us doing that, we later found out that we had given information unwittingly that got back to the guy, you know. And so he disappeared for like 3 days, and when he resurfaced, he had a very great alibi, right? Because everything that we had heard from the detectives, you know, we had talked to people. So, you know, and we were going to people, some of his family, friends and family, not even thinking like, do y'all know? Because they said he was with her. Like, do y'all? And we gave them information. So I agree. Sometimes it's best that we don't know, because we can screw up the case, you know? We can just mess it up. Hey, Robin, good evening to you too. The investigator said the details will be released. And I guess that's what we need to wait for. When we get some solid proof versus hearsay, then yeah, that's what we're waiting for. Right now, the feds have her, but nothing will be released until she's extradited. And I think that's the point. Like, at this point, it's hearsay, and until the family is really notified in a more official way, then maybe, you know, we just can't give official statements, you know. So Jenny Pooh is saying, hey girl. Robin is saying good evening, Tanja J. Good evening, queens and kings. They won't release any information too early. That's like telling folks exactly when they're moving. Exactly, not going to happen. And I've heard that too about the FBI, that they kind of move in silence and secrecy. So, you know, I don't know their protocols. I don't know. But I think based on this new article that we're seeing, that it looks like the MetropoliMX is recanting their story. So that in and of itself makes me a little hesitant, you know, because if you are so sure that this person is arrested, why would you backtrack your story? Why would you recant it? You would stand firm and say, you know, so, you know. Jenny says, LOL, it's all good. I'm always hollering something. There is a mugshot of Daejhanae walking in with Interpol. Rana, where? Can you tell us where? It's called Character. Now, let me tell you this. I did see a picture. Somebody photoshopped her head on an orange jumpsuit. So, you know, people doing all sorts of stuff just for the comedy of it. But I haven't seen an official. She's not on the Interpol website, or she wasn't as of about 6:00 today, because I checked. I didn't see her name. Sikkim says, where's the link? Tammy Lynn is laughing. Oh, okay. Well, stop lying to yourself and your listeners. Baby, if you're going to listen, I'm going to keep lying, okay? Because I'm lying behind somebody else. So if you feel like you're being lied to, you might want to go, boo-boo. Nobody told you to be here, okay? Because I'm not lying to myself. I probably lie to you, but you must like it, though, because you're still here. I mean, Sikkim dogs, you might want to go. If you feel you're being lied to, that's not a good look, sweetie. That's really not a good look. That's right. You just passing along the info. You didn't make it up. Exactly. Again, when Kanika Jenkins, a lot of that information was bogus, but I was such a voracious person. Like, oh, I just wanted to know every little detail, because because you find stuff, what they say, the devils in the details, or whatever they say. I just wanted to know as much as I could, and then I would use my reasoning, just like with a lot of the information they put out about this whole fight with Daejhanae and all of this. I slowed it down, I listened, and I'm finding little details. Just listen. We are not FBI trained and all of that, but a lot of the things that they do, it's like common sense. They slow stuff down. They listen. They keep looking at angles. It's not anything that an average person can't do, okay? If you put the time into it, it takes a lot of time. Go get some rest and don't be bothered with these people. Girl, I'm about to. We can't do we cannot do nada, okay? You can't tell me what I can do on my link, what we can do is have you to leave. Oh no, let me do you a favor. How about this? I think I could block you. I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm going to block you just for your own benefit because I don't want you tripping or stressing. I'm gonna give you a mental health. I'm going to help your mental health out here. Block. There you go. And it's just that simple. There you go. Yeah. Jeanette says, good luck with your content, young lady. Look up what Interpol actually does. Love your passion. Good night. Yes, Interpol does not arrest those, right? I mean, if you know that they do, let me know. But you guys, on that note, I am going to shut it down. I just wanted to come back because I saw that bit of information and I was like, oh, wow. Now they're recanting the story as of yesterday. The whole, like, at least 10 hours, we were being told that she had been arrested. Now, is there such a word as recantation? No, that's like when people are chanting or something, but they're recanting the story. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, you guys all have a wonderful night, and please hit that like button. All right. And I don't mind. We can always disagree, but we don't have to be disrespectful. I was kind of trying to be rude to Sikkim because I think he was getting a little out of hand. He was getting a little crazy. Dealing with the public can be a headache. Everyone interject their warped views in the same ways. Yes, and I mean, it's okay. Some stuff I don't like to entertain, like just questioning whether or not this was a real murder and her parents and things. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm just not gonna go down that path, so. All right, you guys, good night, and thanks everybody for joining. Good night, Jenny Pooh. Good night, Deanna. You guys all have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.